Radford vanquished their Banshee last week with a 50-30 win over Big Bad Appomattox. Back-to-back pick sixes by Landon Clark hung a 50-burger on the Raiders. Tonight, a rematch from the September 29th tilt as Glenvar invades Bobcat Stadium. Since the Radford loss, Glenvar has turned their offense around and has been putting up oodles of points this season. This time, this district rivalry game is for a trophy and a spot in the state semifinals. Radford and Glenvar, a whole lot of bad blood, and it's coming up next here on WRAD. The ball is teed up. To kick the ball away, Carl Muse for the Highlanders. Swinging the leg through, a line drive, end over end. Fielded by Colton Gardner-Rollins at the 25. He's going to take it over to the near sideline, and he is chopped down at the 29-yard line, and that's where the opening drive will start for Radford. Mr. Timothy Worles, give me your offensive keys to the game.
Well, offense just needs to get the running game going here early, establish the running game. It will open up the passing game. We're a better team on paper. The Bobcats just need to stick to the game plan 4 quarters, no matter what the score is.
Radford has scored 50-plus times in 5 of the last 6 games. And we have a shotgun snap. It's a screen pass over to Luke Woodard, and he is going to be caught up and wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Gain of nothing at the most. It's a loss of 1. They're just going to send him back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 29. Radford working right to left, and they are now at the near hash. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. J.D. Grubb, the starting running back on the left tip of Clark. Takes snap, distributes the rock. Grubb cuts it upfield, and he is thrown back at the line of scrimmage. No gain, no loss. 3rd and 10. And Grubb against Glenvar is really his breakout game, and he'll look to do that again today.
Yeah, Glenvar is firing off the ball right now defensively. A lot of energy. Bobcats on those 2 plays got nothing, and it's 3rd and 10 already for the Bobcats here early with their first challenge of the night.
Clark in the gun, trips to the right, shotgun snap, dances back, steps up, guns one in the middle of the field, caught by Max Skype, makes a move, and he's out to the 50 where he is slung down at the middle of the field. He's always open, and it's a gain of 21 on 3rd down.
Yeah, it's a question every week. How can you leave number 18 wide open? He must be that good, and he is that good, getting open every play. Lightning
speed draws the penalty, a false start here. Radford wanted to go uber quick there, and they'll be slowed down. So it was going to be 1st and 10 at the 50, is now going to be backed up to 1st and 15 at the Bobcat 45. Once again, they're working right to left, and they're all black home uniforms. Radford 3-0 in region championship games, looking to go 4-0. 1st and down and 15 at the 45. 4 wideouts split by the O-line. Clark drops back to pass, looking deep over the middle, and it is almost intercepted. It is off the tip at the 25. A return is set up for Glenvar, and taking it back to the 40 for the Highlanders is Reed Hutchinson, who caught it off the carom. A beautifully batted ball in the air by Brody Dyatt, and it is picked off by Reed Hutchinson. Clark never saw the safety roving the middle.
No, and him and Max kind of conversing with each other on that one. Just unlucky right there. The tip pass ended up being an interception. If you're the Highlanders who just traveled in from Salem, Virginia, that's the kind of start that you wanted to set the tone tonight. Now what I believe is the base foundation of the Bobcats this year, their defense. Now it's their turn to come up and earn something back for us.
2 wideout split. Brody Dyatt in the gun. Motions man out to the left, so now he's got 2 receivers to the left. Takes the snap. Quarterback keeper right up the middle. Ball on. I saw a shoe on the ground. It's going to be a carry of 3 up the middle. Sorry about that. Giving a jump scare to everybody. Brings up 2nd down and 7. He weaseled his way out to the 41-yard line. Brings up 2nd down and 7. That was almost every single play against Radford in the first matchup.
Well, I was going to say, Nick, they got the defensive stop, but Glenvar has to have some answers tonight to the big questions of what their offense can do against this defense.
Dyatt in the pistol. This time turns around and hands it off. A run up the middle and a wiggling run there for a gain of 3. Brings up 2nd down. They're going to give him a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that ended up being actually a pretty good run for the Highlanders to make this 3rd down a little shorter and more manageable. 3rd and 2 here. The Highlanders have the ball right after they've already intercepted number 7, Landon Clark, after her tip pass.
3rd down and 3. In the pistol, it's Dyatt. Man in motion from left to right. Takes the snap, hands it off to his fullback, who chugs along for a big 1st down. Gain of about 5 into Radford territory, out to the 49. Taking the football there on the run is the big boy himself,
Another good run by the Highlanders, as you mentioned, Nick. That's what they're going to try to establish early is the running game, and that time they did. They picked up the first down all on the ground.
Dyatt motions 2 men out to the right. He's got an empty set, 5 wide, trips to his right, to the left, stops back. Quick out route. It's caught. Snagged for a gain of 3. Bobcats all over there to turn him back. Receiving the football there is Shane Gibson out of the backfield. Gain of about 3 brings up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, Gibson, as soon as he caught the ball number 18, Max Knipe was there to wrap him up for a minimum gain. Still got 3 yards, though. I mean, that's according to the plan. If you're an offensive team, 3 yards of play will end up get you a first down, and 1-for-1 Glenvar through the air.
2 wide outs to the left, 1 to the right. In the gun, once again, Dyatt. He's got trips to his right now. Hikes the hide. Quarterback keeper all the way. Converging on him is Reese Honaker and Dawson Martin, who tag team for the tackle. Still a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd down and 5 at the Radford 44. The Glenvar Highlanders have to get to the 39 if they want to move the sticks.
Reese Honaker, such a talented freshman we've been talking about all season, coming in 6'3", 203 pounds. He came right off that edge right there and wrapped up the running back for a quick tackle before he picked up anything more than 2 yards.
8:08 and rolling here in the first quarter. In the gun, a running back on either hip. Rolling out to left, Dyatt throws it. Shane Gibson was never turned around. Incomplete. Dyatt shows us the frustrations with his shoulders. Brings up 4th down and 5 with 8:02 to go in this first quarter. Radford's defense gets off the field as the punt teams come out.
Yeah, what an ugly play by the Highlanders, and I mean, including the throw and the route. The ball ended up way behind him, and Dyatt kind of shaking his arm right now, holding his wrist, but then kind of shaking his arm like something's wrong with his shoulder. Something to keep an eye on as he drops back for a punt now.
Ball at the 44. High snap corralled by Dyatt. He gets the punt off. It's a beautiful spiraling punt. Sincere Taylor's going to let it land at the 5. It bounced off a Glenvar helmet, and it lands into the end zone for a touchback.
No.
They're going to mark it down at the 6.
He touched him. Hit him in the head.
He domed him at the 6. What a punt. It was going to land in the end zone. Just drilled a Highlander in the back of the head. Wow. How about that?
Be pretty skillful if you just put one of your teammates on the 1 and just doink him off the head every time.
Need some soccer players.
Pretty talented, if you ask me. In the air, hits the...
On the run, too.
Yeah, the teammate didn't even know where the ball was until it hit him on the head.
And they're going to call it off. So his header skills won't be utilized today. 7:53 on the scoreboard here in the first quarter. Both teams have had the football once, 0-0. Clark steps back out in the quarterback position. Last time out, threw an interception over the middle of the field. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to his left. He's got J.D. Grubb on his left hip. And now Coach Christ is going to get an explanation. And across the way for Glenvar, Coach Clifford getting his explanation as well. 7:53. Ref still hovering over the football. Here we go. Clark in the gun at the 20-yard line. Grubb on the left hip, trips to his right. Shotgun snap, delayed handoff to Grubb. He's got room. He finds a gap in a seam, bursts his way for a big Bobcat first down. Brought to you by Brad's Barbershop. Gain of 12 on the carry out to the 32.
That's what the Bobcats need, especially coming off the interception. Great run by number 4, J.D. Grubb.
Warp speed as Clark drops back to pass, steps up in the pocket all day, sidearms it to Sincere Taylor. It's in the dirt, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Coach Clifford 10 yards off the sideline onto the field right now. Happy about his team's defense right there on that play.
Yeah, Coach Clifford, like I said, he's been offended since they've played the Bobcats and lost 36-3. He's ready for tonight's matchup.
Trips to the left, Clark, low snap, flag on the play. Radford got an early start. Second false start here in the first quarter on Radford's offense. 7:32 to play in the first quarter.
We got to make sure that our players are set. I mean, there's no false count. There's no motion right there. It's just a straight-up snap right there, and Landon's just going to have to do a better job. That's the 2nd time tonight already the Bobcats have been called for that.
2nd down and 15 back to the 27-yard line. Trips now to the left for Clark. They stand at the far hash. Shotgun snap, low snap, picks it up and drops back. Pressured off the edge, rolls out to his right. Looking, fires it, incomplete. Was looking for Sincere Taylor on the sideline, incomplete. And it brings up 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, it looks like Lane is just kind of not comfortable yet. The Glenvar Highlanders doing a good job defending the passing routes, but Sincere was open for a split second right there, and Landon just needs to settle those feet and get the ball out maybe a little sooner on those routes.
The large encampment and boisterous crowd of Glenvar raining down some cowbells and yells here for the 3rd and 15. Ball at the 27. Radford has to get to the 42. Shotgun snap for Clark. Looks left immediately. Fires out to the near sideline. Caught by Max Knipe at the 30. Wiggles his way to the 35. Drops a guy at the 40. Forcing his way out to the 42. Did he get enough for the first down? No, they're going to mark him 1 yard short. What an individual effort by Max Knipe.
Great play by Max. Caught it, made sure both feet was in play, turned upfield, made a guy juke, and then muscled himself for another 2 yards right there. And the Bobcat coaching staff saying it's a first down. The officials are going to now measure it.
They'll measure it. The nose of the football at the 42 at the near hash.
Where's the yellow line when we need it?
No. We should rename Max Knipe the Bone Collector as he snatches another pair of ankles. He had that man dead to rights and dropped him right on his rear end and picked up what seems to be a gain of 14, and they're going to give him the first down. They talked it over, and they gave it enough. Brad's Barbershop first down on the 15-yard pitch and catch. All Max Knipe. Bunch formation here for Clark and the Bobcats. Shotgun that pitch play here to Sincere Taylor. Rounding the edge, stiff-armed and chucked to the ground at the 35. A late flag comes in. We'll wait to see who this is on. The man who got the tackle was senior Nate Johnson. He was a great defensive lineman for the Highlanders in the first matchup between Radford and Glenvar. And there's going to be a holding call on Radford. It will be declined, so Radford won't be punished with yards. They will just lose the down after the loss of 4. And I don't know. Do you put Radford behind the sticks, or do you... Anyways.
Take the downs.
At the far hash, 4 wide out, split by Clark. Drops back the pass after receiving the football. Steps up, in some trouble. Escapes, pulls a Houdini. He's in trouble. Just heaves up in the air. It's intercepted once again at the 40. Taking it back to the 30. Blockers ahead, out to the 24. A terrible decision by Clark as he just heaved it up in the air. And it was easily picked off again by Reed Hutchinson. His second of the first quarter. And we still have 6:57 to play in the opening frame. Whoa!
Yeah, here's the challenge now. Landon Clark kind of putting his hands out as if someone ran the wrong route. He's going to have to get his head together and make some plays here. Glenvar's doing a really good job. They're not allowing Landon to take off right down the middle of the pocket right there. Couldn't think of the word, Nick. Pocket. As soon as he looks to run, Glenvar's immediately filling it up, and so it's causing a lot of headache for Landon Clark here early.
6:57 on the scoreboard. Ball at the 23. Brody Dyatt with 2 wideouts to the left, 3 to his right. Takes the snap. Surges ahead, runs into a wall, turned back. Nowhere to go. Radford ready for that quarterback keeper. And, man, the Highlander offense, again, just dysfunctional against this defense. Loss of 1 on first down.
Your defense has made 2 amazing plays to start the game, and then you throw an offense out there with a limited playbook. Glenvar's going to have to come up with something special against this tough defense that Radford puts out each week. And right there we see it again, just a quarterback keeper, and the Bobcats stuffed them.
Ball at the far hash. Highlanders working left to right. In the gun, Dyatt takes the snap, looks left immediately, guns it out to his receiver, where it is caught and lowering the shoulder and falling forward for a gain of 8 was Dawson Anderson there at the far sideline. They're going to give him 7, brings up 3rd down and 4. Shotgun snap. Warp speed out to the same man. Anderson sheds a tackle down to the 5. He rumbles out of bounds. First down for the Highlanders, and it's 1st and goal for Glenvar. Look out. Highlanders had the Bobcats on the ropes early here.
Yeah, Glenvar finding those answers, as I just mentioned. Nothing special in those routes, just 3-yard pops right there. And right now, the receivers of the Highlanders being a little bit more aggressive than the DBs for the Bobcats.
1st and goal from the 5 at the far hash. Shotgun snap, handoff up the middle, and it's a loss of 3. SKB, Sam Handon Barani in the backfield, and it's a loss of officially 4. Back to the 9, 2nd down, and goal from the 9.
Great play by Sam Handon Barani right there. As soon as the running back got the ball, Sam was right in his face and brought him straight to the ground.
Dyatt once again in the shotgun. Forrester on his left hip, 2 wideouts wide, dropping back to pass, looking for the slant route over the middle. It is caught by Hutchinson. Touchdown, Highlanders. The man who has the 2 interceptions in the first quarter draws first blood here in Bobcat Stadium with a slant route over the middle.
Here in the first quarter in the Regency Championship game, Glenvar has already done something they didn't do in the first matchup, and that is get in the end zone. against this Bobcat defense. It was a well-ran slant pattern there in the end zone by Stanley. Doyett found him right on the dot. Highlanders strike first.
5:28 on the scoreboard. Clean snap, clean hold. Is the kick wide? No, it's good, just enough. 7-0. Highlanders leading the Bobcats with 5:28 to play in the first quarter. Trouble in paradise. We'll see on the other side of this break here on WRAD. The Glenvar Highlanders have the Radford Bobcats boxed here in the first quarter. 7-0. Glenvar on top of Radford with 5:28 to play here in the opening frame as the ball is teed up by Carl Muse. 2 interceptions by Clark is the story of the game. I'm Nick Brown. He's Timothy Worles.
Yeah, the Bobcats are going to be faced with something they're not familiar with, and that is they've already thrown 2 interceptions and given up a touchdown. Let's see how the Bobcats respond here.
Muse, another line drive kick. Received off the bounce by Sincere Taylor at the 10. A gaping hole opens up. Splitting defenders. He's at the 30 and is caught from behind at the 34-yard line. Great return for 24 total yards on the return by Sincere Taylor. Finding the seam and sets up the Bobcats in relatively good field position. Their first 2 drives start at the 29 and the 20. This one at the 34. 5:21 on the scoreboard. Radford's got work to do. Trips to the right, motioning J.D. Grubb out to the right. It is caught on the run on a screen pass, cuts back to the left, weasels his way. There's a flag on the play, and he's turned back and chopped down rudely for a loss of 5. We'll wait to see what this flag is. I'm going to assume it's holding. Waiting for the call. 5:11 on the scoreboard. That play went for a loss of 4. Back to the 30. The ball is going to be placed officially at the 31. And sure enough, there's the holding. That penalty will be declined. So it brings up 2nd down and 12 at the far hash.
I tell you right now, Nick, simple answer so far is the Highlanders are coming out with more passion.
Trips to the right for Clark, drops back, screen pass set up for Max Knipe. He's got blockers ahead of him, couldn't shake that last tackle. Still a good gain there of about 7 to bring up. They're going to give him 8. Brings up 3rd down and 4, and Max Knipe still yet to be dropped from behind the line of scrimmage. Radford facing another 3rd down, converted their first of the game this season. 54%. Shotgun snap, Clark over the middle. High catch by Brandon Thompson. High pointed it and bringing it down. Gain of 8 for the Brad's Barbershop first down. Radford 2 for 2 to start the game on 3rd downs today. How about that?
Great catch by Brandon Thompson. Took an awkward hit. He jumped up to get the ball, got hit at his ankles, but nonetheless picked up a big first down by the senior.
So a gain of 8, followed up by a gain of 8 on the pass plays. Ball placed at the 49-yard line on Radford's side of the field. Radford working right to left. Shotgun snap, handoff up the middle for Grubb, and the hole swallows him up. Still got a gain of 2. Brings up 2nd down and 8 into Glenvar territory for the first time today.
Good job by J.D. Grubb, just being a little patient. I know at home you're saying he only got 2 yards, but those 2 yards are big when you're playing for a Regency championship.
Shotgun snap for Clark, looking left, guns it out. Wide open Max Knipe in the flats of the 50. Makes another shifty move, and still dragging defenders. He dragged 3 Glenvar Highlanders for 3 yards. He is so tough, and it sets up very manageable 3rd down and 3 out to the 44-yard line.
The thing that helps Max is he's on. People look at him, may not think he's the fastest. He's so fast, but he's also very strong, and he's hard to bring down. We just saw that.
Ball at the near hash, 4 wide out split. Grubb on the right hip of Clark, who stands in the gun. Radford needs to get to the 41. Here's the snap. Here's the handoff. Grubb got a little bit of room. Did he fall across the yard to gain? It's going to be mighty close. The side judge on the near sideline says he may have just had enough. And it's going to bring up 4th down and very short. 4th and half a yard. Radford's offense, no question, on the field. Ball is at the 42. They have to get to the 41. The ball in between those yard markers at the near hash. 2:52 and rolling in the first quarter. Clark in the gun with trips to the right. Grubb is the back. Shotgun snap. Clark rolls out to the right. Going to take off running. He's got room. Bursts the speed of the 35. Blockers out at the 25. Makes a man miss, and he's out of bounds. Down in the red zone. Out to the 16-yard line. A late flag is going to be thrown, and it's going to be on Landon Clark. Highlanders taunting him, getting up in his grill, and Clark must have said the no-no word that triggered the flag. Now, I will say 3 Highlanders after the play came up and got right in his face, but he must have said something because those Highlanders immediately said it was on him.
The guy who tackled Landon or got him out of bounds patted him on the back of the head, and Landon turned around and said something. Just absolute boneheaded. Just boneheaded. Big play right there when nothing's been going on offensively for him, and he's going to have to get his head together and find a way to push through this. This is his former team, former of his friends, and nonetheless, we still got a first down.
Ball at the near hash at the 31. Low snap by Clark. Drops back. Rolls out to the right. Looking deep still. Now he's going to take off running again. Tiptoes out of bounds. Gain of 4 or 5. Still a good gain. Positive yards. Ball was at the 31, so his run that was negated that got all the way down to the 16 was taken back. Still a gain of 10. Follows it up with a 4-yard carry, 2nd down and 6.
Interestingly, J.D. Grubb came out of the backfield to run a route, and the defensive end followed him.
Shotgun snap. Clark looking left, looking right now. Looks over the middle. Caught by Sincere Taylor on the run, and he is planted at the 15 where Radford rumbled it down earlier before the penalty, and the Bobcats are in the red zone for the first time today. That's another Brad's Barbershop first down with the pass play over the middle.
Great play by Landon to find Sincere. Sincere also finds his way open in a lot of plays. He may have a big night tonight for us.
First down and 10 at the 15. A handoff to Grubb up the middle. He's got plenty of running room. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Town. Made a touchdown out of a nothing play. And he shifts his way for his 5th playoff touchdown of the season. With 2:09 to go in the first quarter, Radford's an extra point from tying this ball game up.
Great run by Grubb right there. Found the hole, split the defenders, went upfield, got into the end zone, did not this thing. Hopefully after this extra point, great run by number 4, J.D. Grubb.
The extra point to be attempted by Lewis Webster. The kick is up, and boy, oh boy, is it pure. 7 apiece with 2:09 to play in this opening frame in the Region 2C championship game. We'll step aside for 30 seconds on WRAD. 2:09 to go in the opening frame. We've had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and that leads to a scoreboard that reads 7-7. Radford striking more frequently after a J.D. Grubb 15-yard touchdown run right up the gut that capped off a 9-play, 66-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 12 seconds off the scoreboard. I'm Nick Brown. He's Timothy Worles as the ball is going to be teed up by Elijah Goff at the 40-yard line. Radford responds with a beautiful drive. And the southpaw kicker. Ball hand above his head. Calls a couple guys near closer to him. A lot of motion here on the kickoff. Goff rolls up, swings the leg through. A bounding kick that's going to be tipped up in the air at the 25. Glenvar's just going to have to hop on it as 4 Bobcats breathing down the neck of the Highlanders kick coverage at the 26.
We have the most talented kickers this year. There's I don't want to say circus in a bad way, circus in a good way. A lot of trickery, and man, it's making teams have to worry about special teams when they really don't want to worry about special teams this late in the season.
Ball officially marked at the 25-yard line at the near hash. Glenvar will work left to right for the final 2:05 of the first quarter. First and 10 at the 25. Dyatt in the gun with only 1 receiver wide. Takes the snap, pitches it out to the left on a sweeping pitch, and it's going to go for a gain of 5 for Forrester, the running back. 2nd and 5 upcoming. Ball got out to the 30.5-yard line.
Glenvar started this game as best as they could ever imagine. 2 interceptions, the first touchdown, but the Bobcats just knotted it back up and see if this defense can get us back on track.
1 receiver out to the left. Dyatt keeps it himself, trying to extend it to the left, falls forward for a carry of 4 yards. He's just so big and so tall. He's not fast, but you know he's going to pick up at least 3 yards.
Painfully slow, but he does something really well, and that is he just about piggybacks right off the lead blocker's back right there until he finds a little gap and then falls forward. And right now he produced a pretty good outcome by allowing it to be a 3rd and short for the Highlanders.
Middle of the hash is 3rd and 1. Radford 7-man front. Doyett, quarterback keeper all the way. He's got it, and 3 more yards. Out to the 38-yard line. Brings up 1st and 10 for the Highlanders at the far hash.
When I say painfully slow, I absolutely 100% mean it. That boy is painfully slow, but yet he is so effective by having that lead blocker come and pull and get right in front of him. He just follows him right upfield until he gets green grass and falls forward.
1st and 10 at the 38 at the far hash. 2 outs to the left, 1 to the right. A quick screen pass out to the left for Gibson, and he jets ahead for a gain of 6.
Sam Hannenbrani was right there on the edge, threw his hands up at the last second, but just wasn't tall enough right there to deflect the screen pass. Screen pass proven to be a little effective for both the Highlanders and the Bobcats here in the first quarter.
Only a gain of 5 out to the 43-yard line on Glenvar's side of the field. 38 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 7 apiece is our score. Radford and Glenvar knotted up here in the opening frame. 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right, now 2 to the left. Handoff up the middle to Gibson. The big back takes it for a big first down. Still on his feet, out to the Radford 45. A gain of 17 on 2nd and 5, and then to Bobcat territory the Highlanders go. And I don't think they're going to snap this football, and they'll take us to the end of the first quarter.
Another big, easy run by the Highlanders right on the left edge right there. Right inside the tackle, wide open hole. No linebacker was there for the Bobcats to fill the gap, and they got a big old gain again on the ground.
A gain of 17 is the final play of the first quarter. Radford and Glenvar tied up at 7 apiece. A good one brewing early here in Bobcat Stadium for the Region 2C Championship. We'll step aside 30 seconds, second quarter on the other side of this break on WRAD. Welcome back to Bobcat Stadium. I'm Nick Brown. He's Timothy Worles. Today's sponsors: Harvey's GM, Brad's Barbershop, Radford Drug, McAdoo's, Mullins Funeral Home, and Dr. Dennis Vaughn. Thank you to all of our sponsors all season long as they continue their support throughout the playoffs. And thank you, listeners, for giving us a platform to broadcast these games to every single week. 12 minutes on the scoreboard here in the second quarter. 7-7 is our score between Radford and Glenvar. The Highlanders with the football, 1st and 10 at the Bobcats 44. The green helmets and all white uniforms working right to left on this drive. Handoff up the middle. Forrester finds a seam, and he's got a gain of 8 out to the 44-yard line.
Great shoestring tackle by number 5, Luke Woodard, because right now Glenvar was seeing a lot of green grass right ahead of him, and if it wasn't for Luke Woodard getting him at the ankles and bringing him down, that could have gone for a lot more.
Trips to the right, 1 to the left for Mr. Doyett, who stands in the pistol. Claps 5 or 10 times, and he steps aside. He's in the pistol. Behind him, it's Forrester. Radford forced 5 turnovers in the first meeting between these two teams in the regular season. Tonight, Glenvar has 2 over the Bobcats. A nice pitch and catch out for a first down. A gain of 4 on the pass play. Moves the chains out to the 31.
Great aggressive tackle right there by number 3, Cooper Doyle, but not after the Highlanders already picked up the first down. I tell you, Doyett's arm is looking pretty strong right now, hitting his receivers right where he wants them. Glenvar's not running any complex, deep downfield routes like the Bobcats do. They're just running 3 to 5 yards, a quick out, quick stop route, slant that they scored on. Pretty old-school football right here by the Highlanders.
1st and 10 at the 31 at the far hash. Doyett in the pistol. Gibson on his left hip. Behind him, it's Forrester. Has 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Takes snap, turns around, handoff up the middle. Bobcats all over it. Goes backwards at best. It's a gain. No, nothing. 2nd down and 10.
The Bobcats just, I don't know, Nick. I'm just watching our guys out there. Glenvar's just jumping around, high-fiving each other when they make a big play. Bobcats really haven't done that tonight. It just seems like the energy doesn't match where we've seen it in weeks before. I mean, they're playing nose-to-nose right now, but the energy just looks a little different for the Bobcats this evening.
Once again in the pistol, play action pass, rolling out to left. Doyett in trouble, turns around into a wave of Bobcats. 3 black jerseys get on his back, and it's a loss of 5. Reese Honaker gets up and flexes his guns. 3rd and 16 after the loss.
That's the energy we need, and it took a freshman to get up and beat his chest after a big play right there. Glenvar forced with a 3rd and long. Even the fans that filled the bleachers up tonight. Great playoff atmosphere with a huge crowd tonight, better than we've seen the first 2 weeks, Nick.
3rd down and 16. The ball is at the 36. Glenvar has to get to the 20 if they want to move the sticks. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left for Doyett, who's in the gun. takes a snap, pump fakes a screen pass, looking deep, lobbing one deep, into double coverage, and it is let go by Clark, incomplete. He could have picked it off, but he would have been shoved out of bounds at the 2, and at the worst, he would have been shoved into the end zone for a safety. Smart play there by Clark to let it go to bring up 4th down.
Like I said, old school football, you run a lot of 3 to 5 yard routes over and over and over again, and then all of a sudden 3 of your receivers run 3 yards out, pump fake by the quarterback, but then you have a go guy going down the sideline. Bobcats weren't fooled by that. Great coverage, forces a Highlander punt.
The 10-play drive comes to an end. The punt is almost blocked. It was sniffed by Charlie Davis, and Sincere Taylor muffed the snap at the 7, and it's scooped up by the Highlanders. 1st and goal from the 6 for Glenvar after the miscue by Radford.
It's one of those easy for us in the booth to say this, I know, but it's one of those moments where if your toes are on the 10-yard line and the punt's going over your head, you just got to let it roll into the end zone. Take a chance. Well, I'd rather have the ball on the 1 than give them the ball here on the 6.
Dwight in the gun. Forrester on his right hip. 1st and goal from the 6. Dwight takes snap, pitches it out to the right. He's looking to throw, but he is destroyed at the 10. Daniel Neely, what a secretly quiet season he has played, and he lowered the shoulder for a rocking hit. A loss of 3 back to the 9-yard line. Man, has he played some great football this season, and he doesn't get enough praise. 14 tackle for losses, 15 including that one on the season. 2nd and goal at the far hash at the 9. Dyatt once again in the gun. Bobcats 7 men up on the line. Takes the snap, throws it over the middle. Open, but it's dropped. Wide open was Jack Camper, the tight end, and he just dropped it. 6 points in his hands, and he couldn't haul it in. 3rd and goal from the 9.
Bobcats certainly escaped that one because that was a well-drawn-up call right there. Fake handoff and a quick seam route to the tight end. Hit him in the hands. Falls incomplete. Now the Highlanders are staring at a 3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line.
8:45 to play in the 2nd quarter. The clock is stopped after the incomplete pass. 7-7 is our score. It is 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line at the far hash. Dwight in the pistol. Running back on his right hip and running back behind him. Turns around, play action, pass, trouble, throws it. It's caught at the 5, but Max Knipe is there, and so are 5 more Bobcats. 4th and goal from the 6-yard line. Radford sniffed it out, and out comes the kicking team for the Highlanders.
Max Knipe getting up kind of gingerly right now, trying to walk it off. When we talk about Mr. Reliable, I know a lot of our examples are on offense, but right there on defense, open field tackle, Max wraps him up and holds on tight until 4 of his other guys bring him down. Glenvar looking to take the lead here through the field goal.
To kick the field goal, Carl Muse. Clean snap, clean hold. Bobcats almost got it, but the kick still slips through the uprights. 10-7, Glenvar takes the lead, but they had 1st and goal from the 6 after the muffed punt, and Radford's defense holds them to only 3. 10-7 is our new score. With 8:03 to play, we'll step aside for 30 seconds on WRAD. Carl Muse, who just booted a kick through the uprights for the lead for Glenvar, tees the ball up at the 40. 10-7 is the score. Sincere Taylor, just a few plays ago, muffed a punt at the 7. Glenvar hopped on it, but Radford's defense stands strong for the goal line stop and forces Glenvar to kick a field goal. Muse, the straight-on kicker, rolls this one, bounding its way, and it's going to go up and over the head of Taylor, who's going to have to get on it at the 15. It just bounced his way into no man's land, and Radford will start this drive at the 15-yard line. A tough first half for Sincere Taylor on special teams.
Yeah, well, it bounced over the second line right there that misjudged it, and then it just took a weird bounce. And I don't know, the Bobcats, it seems like all year long, has had a struggling time to field the punts and the kicks so far, and it's really fighting against us here tonight.
Trips to the left, one to the right for Clark, who just hands it off to Grubb, follows a blocker, and solid carry of 3 on first down out to the 18-yard line, still at the near hash. It's going to be a gritty game today.
Yeah, J.D. Grubb running the ball pretty hard on that last handoff right there. He's already got a touchdown in his name, and again, if we can just get that honest yards on the ground, it open up in the air for Landon.
Quick screen pass out to Max Snipe, open in the flats once again, cuts back into the middle of the field, sheds a few tacklers for a gain of 3, brings up 3rd down and 4 out to the 31-yard line. And they're going to back him back, only a gain of 2, 3rd down and 5. Clark in the gun, 4 wide out, split, Grubb in the backfield accompanying him. Radford 2 for 3 on 3rd downs today, 7-10 and rolling in the second quarter. The Bobcats trail the Highlanders 10-7. Clark drops back the pass, looks over the middle, steps up into the pocket, in some trouble, doesn't escape, and he is sacked for a loss. A loss of 2, and it brings up 4th down.
Like I said, I mean, the Highlanders are making sure that pocket doesn't stay open for Landon just to take off. And every time he's tried to step up and tuck the ball in and run, the Highlanders have collapsed that pocket, making him a little happy feet right there. And that time they're able to wrap him up for a big-time sack. And the Bobcats punting away as they're down by 3.
Clark in the backfield to punt this ball away. Clean snap, clean catch, and Clark gives this one to boot. It's an honest one. Lands at the 40. Bobcat bounce to the 35. Radford, Glenvar got dangerously close to it. Great punt to flip the field, and the ball is officially picked up at the 31-yard line. Excellent punt there by Clark.
Last time the Bobcat defense, the last 2 times, they forced a big-time punt, and then we muffed it and gave it to them on the 7-yard line, and the Bobcats stood strong and forced a field goal. So seems like the Bobcat defense is starting to heat up on this cold night in the second quarter. Down by 3. We want the offense back on the field. We want to get in the end zone again to take this lead back, and it's going to require a big-time defensive stop here first.
10-7 is our score. 6:14 to go in the first half. Doyett in the pistol. False starts all over the place. The entire offensive line stood up, and 3 yellow hankies come flying in. Excessive all around, and it brings up 1st down and 15. That was comical.
The Bobcats need that kind of stuff going their way. You know, it's a good bounce on the punt, and then a false start on the Highlanders here to start this series. Those are the things that the Highlanders got the Bobcats to do in the first quarter. Now it's our turn to get the Highlanders to do here in the second.
Back to the 26, another handoff, this time to Cooper Mullins, who's trying to stretch it out. Charlie Davis, with his wrestling hands, rips him down with his meat hooks for a loss of 3.
Charlie Davis just, sniffing, and then he comes around the edge and makes the tackle. But sometimes people overlook what the safeties are doing, and Max Knipe didn't make a tackle, didn't come close to making a tackle, but he strung it out to allow Charlie Davis to come right off the edge and make that tackle.
Loss of 3, 2nd down and 18 now. Doyett in the gun, takes the snap, turns right, screen pass all the way. Great open field tackle by Cooper Doyle, who dropped him at the line of scrimmage, brings up 3rd down and 18. Cooper Doyle, heat-seeking missile on that.
Yeah, Cooper Doyle sniffed it as soon as it came out of the guy's hands, and he wrapped him up for a big loss. And so Highlanders started this series with a penalty, and they haven't moved much from that. It's 3rd and 18.
3rd and 18, ball now at the 23 at the far hash. 5:12 and rolling here in the second quarter. Glenvar 10, Radford 7. 2 wideouts left, 1 to the right for Doyett, who's in the gun. Hikes the hide, looks left, pump fakes, looking, steps up in the pocket, flips it out. He's got a man open at the 30, at the 28, and he is in all sorts of trouble. Reed Hutchinson turned out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Didn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. Brings up 4th down and 12. Radford's defense bucks up again and gets a big stop.
Great zone defense right there, especially by number 2, Bryant Weaver there at the DB position right there. 2 receivers coming over to his zone. One was in the flat and one was kind of running a corner route from the inside hash. And Doyett faked it to the out route, hoping the corner route would become open, but Bryant Weaver stayed pretty calm right there, right in the middle, made him force a decision. Big play right there by the defense.
Timeout called by Radford here on the punt. We'll stay right here. Brody Doyett stands back at his own 17-yard line to punt this way. Last punt, Radford was inches from blocking it. Taylor stands at his own 35 to receive the punt. 4:25 on the scoreboard. Everybody set. Clean snap, clean hold. Radford inches away again. A spiraling punt. That's Sincere Taylor's going to let go at the 35. It's going to take an okay bounce for Glenvar to the 27-yard line. And, at the end of the play, no harm, no foul. Radford set up in field position.
I think Radford this year is the best team in all levels of football. They get really close to blocking a punt or a kick, but don't do it. Every game, it just like we're all jumping off our seats looking for the block, and somehow they don't get their hands on it. Close every time.
Twins on either side of the O-line. Ball's middle of the hashes at the 28. Clark takes a snap, play action pass, kicks it out to the left for Luke Woodard. He's got Convoy, and he's upended at the line. The gain, it's a Brad's Barbershop first down. Gain of 11 out to the 39.
Starting to see a little bit more energy that we were lacking there in the first quarter. Great catch right there by Luke Woodard to get on upfield and pick up a quick first down for the Cats. 4 minutes left in this first half.
Ball at the far hash, 4 wide out split. Now Grubb motioned out to the right. Clark pressured up the middle, evades the tackler, guns it over the middle, and it is dropped by Max Knipe. He is beating himself up on the turf at the 45-yard line. His first drop of the season.
Great job by Landon Clark. Number 22, the Highlanders, Henderson, was coming like a bull in a china shop right down the middle, untouched right in his face, and Landon just calmly took a step to the left and then threw it off his back foot. I don't think Max quite was ready for it at that time.
Trips to the right for Clark, takes the snap, play action pass. Once again, Colton Gardner-Rollins catches it in. He dropped the ball. He's going to hop on it. Incomplete. They're going to say he bobbled it all the way. I thought he took about 3 or 4 steps, but nonetheless, it's incomplete for 3rd down and 10. That would have been a big play as well. He had blockers and plenty of room. Saw that daylight and dropped the ball.
Yeah, 2 straight drop passes for the Bobcats. Now they got a 3rd and 10, hoping to score some points for the halftime. We got to make a play here.
4 wide out split, the far hash. Dropping back, Clark steps up, fires over the middle. A missile cut by Max Knipe. Jigs his way down to the 42-yard line in Glenvar territory for a Brad's Barbershop first down. Just another missile over the middle and another catch by Max Knipe.
Well, the problem was that it was first down the first time. This one's 3rd down. It matters now, and he catches that thing for a first.
Gain of 20. Shotgun snap. Quarterback power keeper all the way. Clark trying to string this one out, and he is tiptoed out of bounds, slung out of bounds. Late flag comes in. He was caught by his jersey and flung out by the senior lineman, Nate Johnson, who says, I didn't do anything, but he did, and it's a big 15 yards for Radford.
Yeah, Landon had just stopped running there on the sideline, and then was it number 75? He just pulled him down from behind, and pretty easy call right there, and a big one. If you're Coach Clifford, you're heated over there. And he is, at his teammate, or his player, excuse me.
Yeah, that was a clear-cut foul all the way. Whether Landon Clark went down willingly on the play, you still can't grab a guy by the jersey and sling him out of bounds. Clark probably could have stayed up on his feet. Ball at the near hash, now at the 28-yard line. Shotgun snap. Clark looks left, scans back to the right, now guns it deep down the middle of the field for Colton Gardner-Rollins. Incomplete, just a little too far in the back of the end zone. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that pass was never really had a chance for Woodard there in the back of the end zone. Almost the cameraman right there, but I like the shot that we're taking.
4 wide out split for Clark at the 27-yard line near hash. Drops back, looks over the middle, now dumps it off. Open Sincere Taylor. He catches it, hauls it in. Brad's Barbershop first down out to the 16-yard line. Radford in the red zone for the 2nd time today. A gain of 11 over the middle.
That's all we really need. We don't need to go 30 yards downfield each time. We have so many options right there. Keep it simple.
Trips to the left for Clark, looks left, fires wide open. Max Knipe at the 16, bursts the speed of the 10-5. He's at the pylon. Touchdown, Redtown. Oh, reliable, untouched once again for his 14th receiving touchdown of the season, and Radford takes its first lead of the game, 13-10 with 2:57 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Great play, and the play began with Landon's patience. He made the linebacker once again have to make a decision. As soon as the linebacker took a step inside, he flipped it out there wide open to Max Knipe. Great blocking by number 5, Luke Woodard, in the end zone to make Max Knipe a wide open alleyway into the promised land.
And flag on the extra point. It's going to be on Glenvar. It's going to be offsides, and decision time for Radford now. And here comes the muddle formation for the Bobcats. They converted on one 2-point conversion attempt against Glenvar earlier this season. Three linemen in the middle of the field. Max Knipe to the right. A bunch formation to the left for Clark. Takes the snap. Runs up the middle. Untouched. He's in. 15-10. Radford says, take that, with 2:57 to go in the second quarter. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. When we come back, Glenvar with now the pressure on them here in the Region 2C title game on WRAD. Radford with its first lead of the game, 15-10 over Glenvar here in the Region 2C title game. 2:57 to go in the second quarter. I'm Nick Brown. He's Timothy Worles. Really, the story of the game is Landon Clark had 2 interceptions in the first quarter, and since then it's been perfect football.
Yeah, it's like flipping the switch. Glenvar is playing the best. They're playing out of their minds well, and here we are. Second quarter, Bobcats winning 15-10.
Line drive kick is received on the knees at the 27-yard line, and that's where Glenvar will start this drive. Jaden Beckner, the senior wide receiver, didn't want to take any risks, and he just took a knee at the 27. Radford's last drive. 73 yards, 7 plays. That took 1 minute and 18 seconds off the scoreboard. Ended in a 16-yard pass play from Landon Clark to Max Knipe. And the Bobcat offense looked back to its usual self on that last drive. Glenvar will look to respond here for the final 3 minutes in the second quarter. Doyett in the gun. 3 wideouts to his right, 1 to his left. He has Cooper Mullins on his left hip. Shotgun snap, looks right, now looks back to the left on the screen pass. Mullins catches it, and he is cut down behind the line of scrimmage. The Bobcats are starting to swarm. It's a loss of 7.
Bobcat defense starting to dial it in now. Glenvar was finding some success, kind of that balancing act between the run and the pass early on, but right now in the last 3 possessions, Bobcat defense is looking like they have all season long.
Trips to the right for Doyett, running back on his right hip, 1 to his left. Receives the football, tosses it out. Another screen pass to the right, running into a blocker there. In trouble and cut down at the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a gain of 2 at the very most. And brings up 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, it looked like that flat was going to give them a little positive game right there, but the speed and the power by the Bobcat defense swarmed to them pretty quickly in the defensive pursuit, and then the Highlanders are looking with 2 minutes left on the clock and ticking a 3rd and 14. They're probably going to take their time here to take off as much time as they can off the clock.
Radford with still 2 timeouts. 3rd and 14 at the 24-yard line. Glenvar has to get to their own 39-yard line if they want to move chains. A delayed counter handoff. Radford's all over it. They turn him back for another loss. Back to the 21, a loss of 3. Coach Chris sneaks in a timeout with 1:38 to play, and you bet they're going to try for some points here to end the half.
Oh, absolutely. And let me tell you, Nick, you have Reese Holnaker who wrapped you up in the legs and stood you straight up, and then you got number 52 coming downhill. When you're stood straight up by a big guy like Reese, and then you got Charlie Davis, who, as I always say every week, finish the business there. Those are 2 guys I don't want to be tackled by.
1:38, clock is stopped. It'll be 4th and 17 at the 22-yard line for Glenvar. Let's take a look at the drive chart for Glenvar. Started the game on their opening drive after picking off Landon Clark. 6 plays, punt. The next drive after another interception that set him up at the 23-yard line on Radford's side of the field. On Radford's side of the field. 5 plays, 23 yards. It was a touchdown. The next drive, a 10-play drive, ended in a punt. Then Radford muffed the punt at the 7-yard line. Radford's defense holds them to a 3-and-out, and they kicked a field goal for their 10 points. Then 3-and-out, 3-and-out. They have had, if I can do my math properly here, let's see, negative 10 yards in the last 3 drives.
Yeah, the defense all of a sudden for the black and gold on Black Friday coming out and playing lights out.
Clean snap, clean hold, punt is away. Taylor lets this go, and the ball dies at the 42, takes a Radford hop to the 43, and Bobcats with 1:29 on the scoreboard here in the second quarter. They lead 15-10, and they are going to try to take a bigger lead into the halftime break.
This possession right here could end up being one of those possessions we're talking about a lot in the post game this evening, Nick. Just under a minute and a half, ball back in your hand, you're up by 5 right before halftime break. Played horrible in the first quarter. Let's see what the Bobcats do.
Trips to the right for Clark, takes a snap, dumps it off to Sincere Taylor in the flats at the 40, and tiptoes out of bounds at the Glenvar 49. close to a first down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8. Still a positive play, and he stopped the clock with 1:23 to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 2 now at the 49 at the near hash. Radford working left to right. Still going fast, even with the stop clock. 4 wide out split. Clark receives the football. Looks to his right now, looks back over the middle field, steps up in the pocket, guns it, and it's almost intercepted right off the chest of Cooper Mullins. Just a rocket over the middle, and that one's on Sincere Taylor, who didn't put his hands up in the air for that catch.
The ball came in pretty high right there for Sincere. Sure could have gone up for it, but that thing was coming like a missile pretty high right there. Nonetheless, thank goodness it wasn't intercepted because it hit the defender right in the hands.
That ball bounced off his chest and bounced back 5 yards. That's how hard that pass was thrown over the middle. Interesting situation. Ball at the 49-yard line at the 30. Ball at the 49. 3rd down and 2. At the near hash, clock is stopped with 1:18 to go. Radford says 1 timeout. Do you try to just secure the first down and then hurry up with a run, or do you try to go for a deep shot? What do you do? What are you dialing up here, Coach Worles?
You got to get the first down. You got a whole minute left on the clock. You want to go for that first down. Still got a timeout.
Trips to the left for Clark as they break the huddle. 1 receiver to the right. Radford 1 timeout. Glenvar still has 2. Clark is in the gun with Grubb. Flat-footed is Clark. Takes the snap. Clean pocket. Dumps it off. Max Knipe. And he is going to be dropped 1 yard short. What a tackle by a man who's having a monstrous game. Excuse me, check that. It's actually Carl Muse, the kicker, and safety. Still a great play in the open flats. I thought it was Reed Hutchinson, who has 2 interceptions and a touchdown today.
I like the play call going to Max, Mr. Reliable, tough to bring down. But I don't like the play call, 3rd and 2, and you throw 15 yards across field.
So Radford looked like they were going to snap the football. They are. It's a screen pass out to Max Knipe. Plenty of running room. There is a flag in the backfield. This one is going to come back. Nobody was set. This is probably going to be an illegal shift. Yep. So it was a pickup of about 12 on 4th and 1. Radford just got a little too fancy-pantsy right there. They looked like they were going to go for a regular offensive play. Option back to punt, then option back to offense, and they snapped the football. And too many guys were moving. So now the punt team comes out for 4th down and 7. 39 seconds on scoreboard in the second quarter. Nobody back to receive the punt for Glenvar. Everybody's all out of sorts right now. Nobody for either team is anywhere close to having enough guys on the field.
Here's the deal.
Timeout, Glenvar.
Sorry, Nick. Here's the deal. I think the fake was about to be set up because Max is usually behind the snapper calling the signals. He was lined up at the receiver's position, and they turned around looking for number 32, William D. Hart-Lewis, who wasn't anywhere to be found. And Coach Christ he was so mad because that was going to be an opportunity, I think, for a fake. Different formation there.
And then Glenvar was trying to put 4 guys on, bring 3 guys off. It was just a mess all around. Yes, D. Hart-Lewis should have been set, but Glenvar was probably going to call that timeout there anyways, and brings up 4th and 7. Let's see if Radford comes out in the same formation, and sure enough, here it is.
3 guys on ball. Trips on both sides of the field.
And Sam Handenbarani, the lone up man for the Bobcats, as Clark stands back at the 35. Nobody back to receive the punt for Glenvar. They're thinking fake all the way on defense.
Landon may just delay and punt this away then.
39 seconds, clean snap, clean hold. Landon waits, looks over the middle of the field, caught by Woodard. Flag on the play, and it's going to be another first down on the fake punt. We'll wait to see what the call is.
Is it going to be a legal man downfield?
Clark pleading his case right here. Coach Christ really upset at the officials now on this play. What a beautifully drawn-up play right there for the fake punt. Coach Christ getting his explanation. He is really mad. He's saying that he had enough guys on the line of scrimmage. Illegal procedure is the call. As much to the dismay of the black and gold. That is the call.
Coach Christ is livid.
He cannot.
Coach Landis had to pull him back right there.
Still yelling at the referee. Clean snap, clean catch. Punt is away by Clark. This is a bomb. Lands at the 24. Bobcat bounce within the 10, and it's going to stop itself at the 7 with 23 ticks to go. Coach Christ is 10 yards on the field, hyping up Landon for the punt right there.
No, he's still going.
Now he's mad.
Now the side judge.
Anybody in stripes is a victim to Coach Christ yelling right now.
He has no coat on tonight, though.
He can't chuck it. Yeah.
Might be the bargain, though.
All-time moment for Coach Christ. He is still livid. He better be careful. Folks, he is still barking at the referee with 23 seconds to go in this half. Dyatt at the 2. Takes the snap and drops to one knee. Dyatt flops after Charlie Davis taps him on the shoulder.
A horrible flop.
It was atrocious. That'll take us to half. Radford 15, Glenvar 10. Teeing the ball up, Lucci Puglisi. The onside kick master trots up to the football, and here's a pooch kick that's going to land at the 30. It is caught on the run here by Glenvar and taken out to the 38 was Jaden Beckner. And Glenvar will start their first drive the second half at the 38. Not a lot of offensive success, even though they put up 10 points on the board.
Not a lot of offensive success is a great description of Glenvar's first half. Controlled the game, had one of the best halves of the season there against the Bobcats, yet the Bobcat defense held them to a lone 74 yards total offense to set up this second half.
Negative 10 total yards combined in their last 3 drives. The ball is placed at the 38 at the near hash. Glenvar wearing green helmets with the Georgia and Green Bay Packer G on either side. White jerseys with green numbers on either side and all white pants. 2 wideouts wide, Dyatt in the gun. Brody Dyatt distributes a rock up the middle. A carry by Cooper Mullins up the middle. He goes. He's had a successful day. It's a gain of 5 on the opening play of the half. Gain of 6 brings up second down and 4 out to the 44-yard line.
Going back to where Glenvar began the game, just right up the middle right there. They had some success on some of the handoffs in the opening lanes, and right there they pick up a big 6.
Dyatt once again in the gun, trips to his left. Hikes the hide. Handoff up the middle. Mullins sheds a would-be tackler and picks up a first down into Radford territory. Out to the 47-yard line on Radford's side of the field. Like I said, Glenvar working left to right here in the third quarter on the opening drive. They'd still trail Radford 15-10.
Yeah, Glenvar coming out pretty hot and heavy right here, right up the middle. 2 plays, first down. Bobcats struggled against Appomattox out of the halftime break. They got to stand up right here against the Highlanders.
Stacked trio of receivers to the right. Shotgun snap. Handoff once again. Rocked in the backfield by the Cyclone was Cooper Mullins. He received the football, looked up, and then he was on the ground. Charlie Davis says, "How do you do?" And it's a loss of 2.
Yeah, as soon as Cooper Mullins received that handoff, Charlie Davis was right in his face. Got the ooh from the crowd, and the energy's back. First 2 plays, Glenvar picked up a first down. That one was all Charlie Davis.
10:40 and rolling in the third quarter, 15-10. Bobcats on top of the Highlanders. In the pistol, it's Dyatt. Turns around. Another handoff to Mullins, and he rumbles forward. A gain of 5 or 6. Give him 5. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, brought down by number 28, Brandon Thompson on that play. Was able to wrap him up, but unfortunately wrapped him up from behind and kind of got carried for some positive yards.
Ball at the 44-yard line. They have to get to the Radford 37 if they want to move the sticks. Dyatt in the gun. 2 wideouts to his right. Another handoff. Mullins following some blockers and did not get there. Not enough, but there is a late flag, and this one might be on Radford for the tackle.
I didn't see anything.
May have been hands to the face. Coming up upset is Ricky Bailey. This might be a face mask. I'm too good. It is face mask on Ricky Bailey. He was upset, kind of just got caught with his hands up high in the pile. Would have been a 3rd down stop. Brings up first down and 10 for the Highlanders now at the 35. Dyatt, pistol, looks left, high pass, caught. Immediately hit there is Dawson Anderson. He still picks up 3, but Bryant Weaver all over that for a tackle. Caught him in midair and just drove him back. 2nd down and 7.
Bryant Weaver playing a pretty good game tonight at the cornerback's position. Earlier, he played the zone coverage really well in between 2 receivers, made the quarterback check down to the out route to get a big stop on 3rd down. Right there again, he comes up with the tackle.
2nd down and 7. The ball is placed at the 32-yard line on Radford's side of the field at the far hash. Glenvar with the football. Dyatt hands it off. Big running back Shane Gibson stuffed at the line. 4 Bobcats were there. It's either feast or famine for this Radford defensive line on running plays up the middle, and it brings up 3rd down and 7.
Ricky Bailey, Sam Hannon-Brawny on that one. Brandon Thompson was in on that as well. Nowhere to go for the Highlander running back.
Another 3rd down face here by the Highlanders on this drive. The last one was converted with the help of a face mask. 8:43 and rolling in the 3rd quarter. Radford 15, Glenvar 10. Dyatt with 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Takes the snap, looks left, pump fakes, looking. It is caught and juking out and shifting his weight for a 1st down was Peyton Deal. He was caught 4 yards behind the line to gain and gets enough throwing a shoulder. 1st down and now 10 at the 25 for Glenvar.
That's a play that you want to circle as a Bobcat right there. You wrapped him up with 2 or 3 guys, and he yet fights for 5 extra yards, of what it seems like, to pick up the 1st down.
2 wideouts to the right for Dyatt. They run the ball in the vast majority of 1st downs. They run the football 54% of the time. A very balanced offense. Dyatt hands off. Gibson follows blockers, but ripped down. Ricky Bailey again at the line of scrimmage. Boy, is Ricky Bailey one of the best nose guards you've ever seen in high school.
Ricky Bailey has really come on here at the end of the season. He's strong, he's quick, he's nasty enough to be a good nose guard, and he's really playing well.
Gain of only 1 out to the 24, middle of the hashes, under 8 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. 15 Radford, 10 for Glenvar. Bobcats up 5. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Once again in the pistol, it's Dyatt. Gibson on his right hip. Behind him, it's Cooper Mullins. Taking the snap, looks left. Another quick pass out to Anderson. Cuts up to the far sideline where he is flung out of bounds for only a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd down and 3.
It's one of those things, again, we got to wrap up and take him to the ground because just arm tackling is allowing Glenvar to squeak out 3 or 4 more yards every play right there.
Only a gain of 4 brings up now 3rd down and 4. The ball is placed at the 19-yard line. Glenvar has to get to the 15. They're in the red zone. Dyatt motions 2 guys out to the right, trips to the right, 2 wide receivers to the left. Empty set for Dyatt, takes the snap, looks left. It is almost intercepted, batted down by Luke Woodard, who made a break on the football. That would have been a pick 6 as he swats his one hand down on the football. Incomplete. 4th down and 4, and
field goal.
Field goal time. Now we saw Carl Muse boot around a 30-yarder earlier in the regular season for the only points in the game for Glenvar. He made a 23-yarder earlier this game. This one is a 35-yard attempt from the far hash. With 7:36 to go in the 3rd quarter, clean snap, clean hold. The kick is away. It's got room. Had plenty of distance, but it's wide left. Carl Muse hooks it, and it's 7:30 to go on the scoreboard. Radford holds on to the 15-10 lead.
Yeah, he had plenty of distance for sure on that one, and unfortunately for the Highlanders, but fortunately for the Bobcats, it went left. And so Bobcats here got the ball back, got the defensive stop they wanted to begin this half. As I said last week, first 2 possessions of football in the second half, wins or loses ball games. Bobcats right on track.
7:30, handoff to J.D. Grubb around the edge, trying to extend it, and he is caught from behind and dropped all the way back at the 14. A devastating loss on 1st down. Jack Camper, who played a huge role in the first meeting between these 2 teams at that linebacker position, gets in for only his 2nd tackle of the game.
J.D. Grubb had nowhere to go. He tried his best to string it out, but the Highlander defense was there like a wall.
Loss of 6. Camper with his luscious locks extending out of his helmet with the big tackle. 4 wideouts split for Clark. Motions Grubb to his left hip. They're at the near hash. Now motions Grubb out to the right. Pump fake to the right for the screen pass, and Clark takes it himself. Camper's there again, wraps him up at the line of scrimmage, and no gain, no loss. Actually, they're going to give him 1. brings up 3rd down and 15. Camper coming alive here on the last 2 plays, and they've been 2 big plays by number 11.
I like what the Bobcats were thinking there. You know, when J.D. Grubb goes out into the flat and then up as a route, the Highlanders are bringing their defensive end to cover him right there. So they send him out. Quarterback draw, nothing there.
Trips to the right. Clark in some trouble. Back to his own end zone. He just has to get rid of it. He chucks it to the far sideline. There is 2 receivers there near the football, so it will just be incomplete. What arm strength by Clark there. That one actually had a chance to land in front of Max Knight, but still brings up 4th and 15, a 3-and-out for Radford to start the second half.
Really wanted to drive down the field and kind of put a nail in this thing, but we're keeping the Highlanders in this game 15-10. Short possession right there. Thankfully, Landon didn't get sacked in the end zone because that's where he was going, and thankfully he was able to throw that ball all the way out of bounds.
The sophomore brother of Brody Diet is Trey Diet. He's back to receive the punt at the 50, and a flag comes in as Radford was nowhere close to being set. Special teams have been a disaster for the Bobcats today. Trey Diet and Brody Diet, both brothers, both sophomores, both adopted. Large family of the Diets. Clark now stands in his own end zone. This better be a clean snap for the Bobcats. Low snap, corralled. Glenvar doesn't come after this, and this is a rocket by Clark. Trey picks up at the 50, makes a man miss at the 40, jukes his way back, and is destroyed at the 39. A solid return of about 11. He is slowly helped up on his far sideline. Hopefully he's okay. And Glenvar and Diet's team will start this drive at the Radford 41-yard line.
Bobcat defense is what's been really winning this ball game so far, I would say. Highlanders all 10 points off of turnovers there in the first half. Bobcat defense playing pretty strong, and they're back on the field once again.
6:08 to go in the third quarter. Only one receiver out wide for Diet, who stands in the gun. Takes snap, pitches it out to the right for Cooper Mullins. Radford with a wall extended out, and he is dropped. Loss of 3. Max Knipe and Landon Clark all over him. And they're going to only give him a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and 11. That forward progress will get you.
Great job by Max Knipe, not allowing himself to be blocked right there. Was able to wrap up the running back, force him out of bounds. Landon Clark came downhill pretty quickly as well to lay the boom.
Yeah, loss of 3 on there. 2nd and 13, back to the 44-yard line. The line to gain at the 31. Glenvar has the football at the near hash at the 44. The Highlanders working left to right. Brody Diet with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He's in the pistol. Gibson on his right hip. Mullins behind him. Dropping back to pass. Pressured off the edge. Flipping it deep. Man behind the coverage. Got it to the goal line. Incomplete. Just a yard long over the receiver. Peyton Deal's extended arms.
Yeah. I think Glenvar saw something on film last week from Appomattox, which scored 2 times against the Bobcat defense on 4th down, right down the hashes and downfield, and that's exactly where Glenvar went that time. Luckily enough, it fell too far in front of the receiver.
3rd down and 13 at the 44. Once again at the near hash. Ball hasn't moved since the last play. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 5:19 to go in the third quarter. Diet in the pistol. Motions his 2 running backs out to the right. Empty set. Trips to the right, 2 to the left. Shotgun snap. Bobcats pressure immediately off the edge. Diet in trouble. Pressured. Flipping it deep. Crushed. But he's back there. The ball lands harmlessly into the end zone for an incomplete pass. Diet was annihilated there in the backfield as soon as he let the foot go with that football. Brandon Thompson coming down like a freight train.
Yeah, Brandon laid the boom and let Diet remember that the next time they're on offense, he's going to be back to him.
Another 3 and out for Glenvar's offense. That is the 4th. That's the 4th drive. 4 out of the last 5 drives that ends in a 3 and out. Brody Diet stands at his own 43. Clean snap, clean hold. Only Ricky Bailey coming after that punt. It's an awkward one. Lands at the 20. Rolls and plants at the 17. Glenvar really not getting any lucky bounces off the punts. We'll stay right here. Out comes the Radford offense, who went for a 3 and out on the previous drive.
And Bobcats' first possession of the second half went for nothing at all. Couldn't get the engines going, couldn't get nothing going. J.D. Grubb got a handoff to start it off, and the Glenvar defense was like a wall right there, didn't let him get any yardage. And the next two pass plays that forced Landon just to throw it back-footed out of bounds.
Shotgun snap, pump fake in the screen pass, Clark, and he is crushed in the backfield. Big sack there by the senior, Nate Johnson. Pressure starting to get home on Clark, and it's a loss all the way back to the 8-yard line. No, check that to the 10. Still a loss of 7 on the sack.
Soon as Landon turned around, he got met by Jack Camper right there to bring him down to the ground.
Clark in the gun, 4 wide out split, shotgun snap, looks to the left, now looks over the middle. Off his back foot, caught by Max Knipe in motion out to the 20. On the run, Old Reliable takes it, and he just lowered the shoulder into Big Nate Johnson, the offensive defensive lineman, and hurt him. He comes up woozy, and Max Knipe, who probably is giving up 50 pounds on that, wins the battle. 3rd and 7 now. Shotgun snap, Clark looks, guns it, middle of the field. Max Knipe again, breaking free, slipping from defenders, out to the 45. A huge barbershop first down that goes from the 20 to the 45 for a gain of 25. He is so elusive.
When in doubt, find number 18 right down the middle of the field. Max Knipe was able to escape one, but then brought down.
Warp speed once again. Clark off the back foot, caught by Sincere Taylor, middle of the field. A solid gain of 6 from the 44 down to the 50. It'll be middle of the hashes. 2nd down and 4 upcoming.
Bobcats finding success on that crossing route. First time it went to Max, second time it went to Sincere.
3:40 and rolling in the 3rd quarter. A quick zip out to the play, dropped by Taylor. That one fell dangerously to the turf at the toes of 2 Glenvar defenders. 3rd down and 4. That was a surefire first down. 3:34. Clock is stopped in the 3rd quarter. It's 3rd down and 4 at the 50. Radford has to get to the Glenvar 46. 15-10, Bobcats leading the Highlanders. 4 wide out split, twins on either side. Clark hikes the hide, looks over the middle, steps up into the pocket, in some trouble, cut from behind, and down he goes at the line of scrimmage. 3 white jerseys gather up. Ben Holliday led the charge. There are 4 senior defensive linemen starting this game, and Radford's punt team coming out on the field.
And Landon Clark's just not going to be able to step up into the pocket like he tried once again right there. It's collapsing too quick. Glenvar's covering him pretty well right there, and punt team back on to the field. I think hopefully after Coach Christ's explanation on the way to the locker room, maybe they'll be ready for this formation by the officials.
Same formation, testing the officials. Dropping back, looking to pass, lobbing one deep downfield for J.D. Grubb, and it is almost caught at the far sideline, or at the near sideline. Check that, incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs at the 50. Wide open, Max Knipe in the flats. Instead, chucks it deep to double cover J.D. Grubb.
Just by the mannerisms by Coach Christ on the sideline, I'm not so sure he was happy by that decision by Landon Clark right there. I'm not sure if he's got a choice between passing or punting, but nonetheless, you know, you go for it right there. Ball's at midfield. Your defense is playing so daggone well the last 6 possessions right there. You take a shot. You're only up by 5. Just under 3 minutes left in the quarter. Trust the big boy defense that we've got so far. That's been the foundations of this team for this season.
No points scored here in the second half for either club. 15-10. Radford on top still. Ball at the 50-yard line for Glenvar with trips to the left for Dawit. Takes a snap. Handoff. Mullins cuts it up, middle of the field, bursts the speed at the 40, 1 man to beat, jukes out Clark, and he is cut down from behind, in deeper to Radford territory, out to the 27-yard line. A run of 23 right up the middle for Cooper Mullins.
Glenvar finally finds some success. The first 2 plays of the half ended up in a first down for them, but since then it's been all the Bobcat defense. So right there, Mullins found the edge, got upfield, almost broke loose away from Landon Clark, but then Sam Hanbarani coming full speed brought him to the ground.
Middle of the hash marks at the 27. Shotgun snap. Dawit keeps it himself. First down and a few extra yards. Check that. Sorry, that was 1st and 10. Gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 out to the Radford 22.
Nothing fancy once again on that quarterback sneak. He's not juking. He's not speedy. He's just going forward, and the big boy lineman is opening some space for him, and hey, a 5-yard gain right there on first down is positive stuff.
Second down and 5 at the 22. From Radford side of the field, Glenvar still working left to right. Trips to the left for Dyatt. Takes the snap, hands it off. Mullins cuts it up, middle of the field again. Plenty of room, first down and more. Twisted down by Clark at the 13-yard line. Gain of 9 and a Glenvar first down into the red zone. 3 runs here on this drive so far for a productive 37 yards.
Radford's been finding success for their linebackers getting through the line on all their blitzes this year. Radford's only been able to do that on a handful of times tonight. Other than that, the Glenvar offensive line has done a good job keeping those things at bay.
Mullins stays the running back on the right hip of Dyatt in the gun. Mullins gets the call once again. That time, Radford's linebackers were there, more notably Charlie Davis. Loss of 1 as the Cyclone breaks through. Loss of 1 back to the 15-yard line. Second down and 11 as we dive south of 1 minute to play in this third quarter.
Sam Hannah-Brawny came right there on the edge. He took the big lick from the offensive tackle and allowed Charlie Davis to come through the hole.
Back to the 14-yard line. Shotgun snap. Dyatt tosses it out. Quick pass to the right. Caught by Hutchinson. He's in trouble. Max Knipe. Beautiful open field tackle at the 12. And it brings up third down and 7. Third down and 8, excuse me. Third down and 8. A crucial third down and 8 at the 11-yard line. Glenvar has to get to the 4. The 3, check that. If they want to move these sticks, they can also score a touchdown as well. At the near hash. And they're going to let this one roll out for the end of the quarter. Through 3 quarters, 75% through. Radford 15, Glenvar 10. A defensive struggle. And the Bobcats will have to find some inner grittiness if they want to move on to the state semifinal game. The final quarter of play for the Region 2C title game on the other side of this break on WRAD. 12 minutes on the scoreboard for the final quarter of play between Radford and Glenvar. A crucial play to open the gates for this final frame. Third down and 8 for Glenvar's offense. The ball is at the 11-yard line on Radford's side of the field. If Glenvar wants to move the chains, they have to get to the 3. They were stopped in the red zone earlier and were held to a field goal in the first half. The score is 15-10 in favor of the Bobcats. Trips to the right for Dyatt in the gun. At the far hash. Takes it. Hands it off. Mullins burst of speed. Did he get there? No, he's a yard short. The Bobcats stand him up just at the 5. Excuse me. It's going to be a short of 2 yards. 4th and 2. And boy, oh boy. Decision time for Coach Clifford.
I think he's definitely going to be going for this one. Honestly, this possession, we have not been able to stop Mullins behind the sticks many times, and I think that's why they went on the ground right there. Be ready for the play-action look here. Play-action slant. It's been pretty successful for Dyatt tonight.
4th and 2 at the 5. Handoff. Mullins got it. Touchdown, Highlanders. They take the lead with 11:19 to play in the fourth quarter. 16-10. Or 16-15 is the score.
Air deflated on the Bobcat side of the stadium. Man, it's being filled up over there on the temporary bleachers on Glenvar side. They are fired up, ready to roll. Methodical drive. Bobcats went forward on 4th down at midfield, put the ball and trust into the defense, and Glenvar was able to get to the end zone.
Early snap. Timeout called by Glenvar on the extra point, and I don't know. That feels like a wasted timeout with 11:19 to play in this ball game. The score is only 16-15. Radford trailing Glenvar by 1. The majority of this game, the Bobcats have been trailing. They trailed 7-0, 10-7, and now 16-15. And the Highlanders just took a timeout. Think over this extra point. Do you think they go for 2 here, Mr. Worles?
They've got to go for 2. Why would you kick a field goal? It'll only be 17-15.
No difference, and
you got the lead. Yeah.
Leading by 1 or 2.
Third time in 2 weeks that the Bobcats have given a touchdown on 4th down.
Yeah. Third time in 2 weeks. Granted, the 4th and 17s and 4th and 20s for Appomattox are a little different than 4th and 2 from the 5.
Very true. Nonetheless, man.
Still is what it is. Still a stat line. 11-19 on the scoreboard. Highlanders going for 2. They're up 16-15, trying to make this 18-15. Brody Doyett in the gun. 2 wide outs to the left, 1 to the right. Motions Hutchinson from the left to the right. Hikes the hide, fumbled the snap, drops back, in trouble, evades the hit, tosses it, incomplete. Bobcats hold strong on the 2-point conversion. Sam Barani is living in the backfield on these pass plays and pressuring the heck out of Brody Doyett. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Radford down 1 in the 4th quarter. The first time they've trailed in the final quarter this entire season. We'll see how it ends on the other side of this break on WRAD. 11-19 on the scoreboard. Glenvar with the new score, 16-15, the lone score here in the second half. The Highlanders taking a 1-point advantage. They failed the 2-point conversion try. Their last drive, 7 plays, 50 yards, took 3 minutes, 31 seconds off the scoreboard. Ended on a 5-yard touchdown run on 4th and 2. Line drive, roller once again. Colton Garner-Rollins catches it off the hop at the 20, patiently waits for some blockers, takes it to the far sideline, shedding defenders, and he is cut down at the 20. Officially at the 21-yard line. Radford has not been in this position this season. First time they have trailed in the 4th quarter, and I made a note to you, Mr. Timothy Worles, at the break, that every time a game's gotten close, Radford has been able to close it out with pick sixes, not the offense.
Yeah, offense has kind of been standstill throughout the evening. This is the moment for them to break loose.
Clark in the gun, one running back on his left hip. Quarterback keeper all the way to the short side of the field at the far sideline. Patiently waits and falls down to the ground. Kind of scary there, and he just slips and hops up. You hope it's no contact knee injury right there. Fortunately, he gets up easily. No harm. Gain of 1 on 1st down and 10. 4 wideouts split now at the far hash at the 22-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Clark in the gun. Grubb on his left hip. Now motioned out wide to the right. Clark takes the snap. Looking. Pressured off the edge. Pump fakes the deep play. Shot over the middle. Caught by Sincere Taylor. Blockers ahead. Juke move at the 45. Stiff arming his way. Rumbling into Glenvar territory. Down to the 43-yard line. Sincere Taylor with an incredible finger tap catch and rumbles his way into Glenvar territory with a big-time strike.
Big-time play by Landon Clark, staying patient, found Sincere. Great catch by Sincere, and the yards after the catch.
Gain of 34. Clark drops back, looking over the middle. Again, wide open. Max Knipe cut down as soon as he catches the football, but it's close to the sticks. It's a 1st down out to the 31. Another Brad's Barbershop 1st down. That one goes for 12.
Chain gang getting a little tired over there. This is the offense we've been used to all season long. Hasn't appeared very much tonight.
Trips to the left for Clark. Quickly snapping the football. Pressured again. Dancing around. Just fires it out of bounds. Incomplete. Smart play there. Breathing down Clark's neck was Nate Johnson.
Once again, it's a whole lot easier for us sitting up in the booth seeing the whole field than being on the field like Landon Clark. But Sincere Taylor was able to squeeze through the defenders and found some open space pretty early there in the middle of the field. But nonetheless, Landon Clark made a smart play, threw it out of bounds, lived to play another down, 2nd and 10.
10 minutes to go exactly here in the 4th quarter. 16-15, Radford leads Glenvar. Trips to the left for Clark, 1 to the right. Grubb on the right hip. Low snap, corralled. Throws it, screen pass, Luke Woodard catches it on his knees. It's going to be caught for a loss of 3. It would have been better if he just dropped it. 3rd down and 13, and what was setting up to be a promising drive is all of a sudden going backwards to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Landon Clark just threw that screen off the back of his foot. He's got a strong arm there, but that time it was just a little short, and as soon as Luke Woodard caught the ball, momentum took him down to his knees.
3rd and 13. Twins on either side at the far hash. In motion, Sincere Taylor left to right, trips to the right now as Clark takes the snap. Looks right, pump fake, steps up, evades one defender, now takes off running. A little bit of running room, blockers, jukes out a guy, still rumbling, still powering, using his leg muscles, and it's a good gain of around 8 or 9 and brings up 4th down and 4 or 5.
Good athletic play by Landon Clark. was able to escape and immediately took the ball away, used his speed. And like you said, Nick, it's now 4th and 5. Sounds a whole lot better than 4th and 13.
4th and 5 from the 26. Radford has to get to the 21. Clark with trips to his right. Looks back to the sideline and flags on the play. It's on Jaden Hendricks for the false start.
Trying to get Glenvar to jump off sides, and we make our own guys jump.
Fourth and 9. Ball at the 30. Once again, the goal doesn't change. Radford has to get to the 21. Trips to the right. Clark drops back. 4-man pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Rolls out to his right. Looking over the middle of the field. Running out of time. Has to dump it off. And it is intercepted at the 14. A poor decision by Cooper Mullins for Glenvar. It's their 3rd interception of the game, doubling up Clark's season total, but they would have had the football at the 30, and now they have the ball at their own 14.
Yeah, when the ball's coming your way, you're going to get that interception. You're not thinking through stuff like that, but what he wants is 3 interceptions under Landon's name, and that's exactly what they did.
Counting them up on their hand themselves at the Radford sideline. Ball officially at the 13.
Got to get a stop. Still got 8:30 left. Our offense has proven they can zoom on down the field. A lot of game left to play.
8:30 on the scoreboard. Ball at the 13, near hash. Trips to the right for Brody Dyatt. Running back on his right hip. Hikes the hide. Mullins jukes out left. Trying to evade defenders. Gummed up at the line of scrimmage. Tackled in bounds, but just gets back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to scoot him up a yard. Gain of 1. 2nd down and 9.
Once again, Brian Weaver on that tackle right there really strung it out, and Charlie Davis came behind and brought him down to the ground. Good play, good start for the defense.
Gained out to the 15. 2nd and 9. Under 8 minutes to play in this ball game. 16-15 on a frigid night in Radford. Brody Dyatt in the pistol. Shane Gibson's the back behind him. Turns around. No, in trouble. Bobcats there. It's a loss of 8. Brody Dyatt turned right. Gibson went for the handoff to the left. Radford converges. A huge loss. Back to the 9. A loss of 6 on the play.
Critical play right there for the Bobcats.
3rd and 15.
Backing them up even deeper in their own territory.
15-16. Radford trailing. Glenvar on the field with 7:12 to go and rolling in the 4th quarter. Glenvar at their own 10. Brody Dyatt in the pistol. Gibson behind him. Trips to his right, 1 to the left. Dyatt turns around. Handoff. Gibson gaping hole, but it closes quickly. Davis and Sam Barani. Big hit. Brings up 4th down and 7. Big 3 and out by Radford.
Yeah, big indeed. We still have 6 minutes, 44 seconds left on this clock. We're only down by 1. It's 16-15. We saw some glimpses of hope there in the last possession as we started marching down the field. Let's see what we can do now.
High snap. Punt is away. A missile straight to Sincere Taylor, and he lets it go to the 30-yard line. It rolls all the way to the 29-yard line.
I think everyone in the stadium wants him to catch the ball, and I would like to too, but I think that's a coach's decision.
Yeah.
None of the coaches are even responding. I think they told him not to catch it at this point.
Ball at the 29-yard line at the near hash. 6:18 to play in the 4th quarter. Radford trailing by 1. Ball at the 29-yard line on Radford's side of the field. Clark in the gun, bunch formation. In motion, Colton Garner-Rollins. They hand it off to the left. He's got blockers ahead of him. CGR stringing it out and tiptoes out of bounds for a gain of 6.
Good play right there by the Bobcats.
Coach Clifford is 10 yards on the field, barking at his own man, and hops back.
That's Coach Clifford for you. But Bobcats notoriously spreading the teams out, but right here they're going back to the bunch formation. A little different look.
Only one receiver out wide to the left. It's Woodard. CGR, counter reverse. Clark caps it himself. Blockers ahead. Breaks free to the 50, to the 40. No man in front of him. Off to the races. He goes. Touchdown. Red Town. Landon Clark says, how do you do, to his former team with 6:01 to play. Some trickery works to perfection. Nobody on Glenvar's side is standing. Everybody on Radford's home side elated to their feet.
Bobcats come out, the same exact look, the same exact motion that they did the play before. They even brought J.D. Grubb on the counter. Glenvar thought it was going to be a counter this time. Landon Clark faked the handoff both ways, spun, went up the middle, and he went home for the touchdown right there. 6:01, Bobcats have the lead right back in their own hands.
21-16, Radford electing to go for two. Clark in the muddle formation, takes the snap, runs up the middle. He's got it! 23-16. A dagger to the hearts of Glenvar, and the Bobcats lead by 7. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. What an electrifying play by number 7 that we expect week in and week out, and he always delivers. We'll see you on the other side. Radford 23, Glenvar 16 on WRAD. 6:01 to play in the fourth quarter. Radford 23, Glenvar 16. Elijah Goff to key this ball away. It is end over end, received at the 30. And upended back at the 36 is Jaden Beckner. And Glenvar's slow, methodical offense comes out on the field. 2 plays, 71 yards, capped off by a 66-yard touchdown run by who else? Landon Clark. The drive took only 17 seconds. 5:57 officially on the scoreboard. Ball is at the 36-yard line.
Great job by the coaching staff showing the Highlanders a different look on offense with the bunch formation.
Trips to the left, handoff up the middle for Cooper Mullins, upended for only a gain of 2. Charlie Davis in there for the hit. 2nd down and 8. Both teams scoring a touchdown in the second half. Radford 23, Glenvar 16. 2nd down and 8. Dyatt in the pistol. Trips to his left. Takes a snap. Looks left. Pump fakes. It's another screen pass. Caught there by Hutchinson. Max Knipe drops him at the 40. Only a gain of 2. 3rd down and 6.
Hutchinson got lucky there. Almost looked like he was going to catch the ball with his knee on the ground right there, but Max Knipe coming, not allowing him to get any extra guard right there. Number 18, big tackle.
Gain of 2. 3rd down and 6. Folks, listen to Bobcat Stadium. 5 minutes and rolling in the fourth. 23-16. 3rd and 6. Dyatt in the pistol. Bobcats show pressure. They come charging, handoff up the middle for Mullins. He is caught from behind and stopped 3 yards short of the line to gain. They're going to give him 1 yard short. 4th down and 2 after the run up the middle. 4th down and 2. Ball is at the 39. They have to get to the 41. Glenvar, quick snap. Handoff to Gibson. Gaping hole. Breaking free. Setting defenders. Max Knipe hunts him down like a cheetah at the 23. But a monstrous carry by Shane Gibson down into the red zone.
I don't get it.
Down to the 21.
It's just a simple handoff up the middle. And once again, last time on 4th down, they scored a touchdown off of it. This time on 4th down, right up the middle, they get a big gain.
Gain of 34 on 4th down and 2. The big fella rumbling his way. Excellent effort by Max Knipe to chase him down. 1st and 10 now at the 22. Trips to the right for Dyatt. 2 wideouts to the left. Empty set at the near hash. Quarterback keeper all the way. He finds a hole, shutting defenders, and he is crushed at the 10. But a 1st down for the Highlanders, and it's 1st and goal officially at the 9.
There is absolutely no reason why that quarterback should be able to get that many yards when it's a direct snap back to him and all he's doing is running the ball.
3:46 and rolling in the 4th. Glenvar 1st and goal from the 9. Radford 23, Glenvar 16. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Timeout. Called by Radford. with 3:31 to go. They didn't like the look. What an electric final or last 3 or so minutes, Mr. Worles.
And this is a Region C championship game atmosphere right now. Both teams, Radford, Glenvar. By the way, how many times is a Region C championship involving 2 teams from the Three Rivers District in every sport, by the way? We are the best district around, hands in all the time. And but nonetheless, I mean, the middle running game of Glenvar is killing our defense right now.
Yep. 3:31, fourth quarter. 23-16, Radford leading Glenvar. The Highlanders have it at first and goal at the 9 at the near hash. 2 years ago, Radford fell to Glenvar to the hands of Brody Doyett, who tossed a touchdown with no seconds remaining at the same end zone. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Brody Doyett, pistol. Gibson on his left hip. Behind him, Mullins. Takes a snap, handoff, Mullins up the middle, slithers through the line, and rumbles down to the 4.
Up the middle, up the middle, up the middle.
Gain of 5 brings up second and goal from the 4.
Glenvar's not going to do anything different. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
3:12 and ticking away in the fourth quarter. Radford 23, Glenvar 16.
They're going to try to milk this as far as they can down.
Doyett, pistol. Receivers to his right, 2 of them, 1 to his left. Same formation. Takes a snap, another handoff. Gibson stood up at the line and turned back at the 5. He lost a yard. Third down and goal from the 5.
This time the Bobcats brought all 3 linebackers right up the middle, and they just stuffed it.
2:33 and ticking in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 5. Third and goal from the 5.
This is what Glenvar wants to do. They want to just really lure you into the middle, to the middle, to the middle. And all of a sudden they might bring a counter or just an outside handoff to get you off balance here. Let's see if the Bobcat defense can hold strong and get a huge stop on 3rd down.
Trips to the right. Doyett, pistol. Almost botched the snap. Hands off to Mullins. Stretching it out to the pylon. Did he get out? Touchdown. Highlanders. Just enough. With 2:06 to go in the fourth quarter, they stretch it out to the near pylon and score. 23-22 is our new score.
Yeah, there it is. Handoff, bounced it to the outside. Just had cornerback right there and got into the end zone. So what? Yeah. Can't stop the running game. I think Glenvar is going to be keeping their offense out here. They're going for it.
Going for 2. 2:06 to play in this ball game. 23-22. Radford leading by 1. Glenvar trying to take the 1-point lead. Middle of the hashes. 2 receivers to the left.
Come on,
in the
boys.
gun, it's Doyett. Motions Hutchinson from left to right. Doyett takes the snap. Rolls out to the right. Pressured to the pylon. Caught. Highlanders take the lead on the pick route to the right. 24-23.
We were there.
Yep.
We were there. I thought we were going to bat that thing down, and somehow it got right to the receiver. Good throw by Doyett. Ice in his veins on that one, and Glenvar reclaims the lead.
Exact same end zone, exact same pylon to take the lead, where 2 years ago, Brody Doyett tossed a touchdown pass with no time left to take the lead.
Well,
by the way, about 30 Highlander fans standing on the field at the moment, on the sideline. Doyett was mobbed by about 15 guys.
Well, 2 minutes, 6 seconds remain on the clock. Let's keep that in mind.
Yep. 2 timeouts for Radford. The last drive for Clark, 17 seconds. Plenty of time for this electric offense. We asked, entering the playoffs, can Radford win a close game? Well, this is the best case to decide that fate.
Be ready for the onsides.
Carl Muse tees the ball up at the 40. 2:06. Every kick has just been a roller up the gut. This one, same exact one. Colton Garner-Rollins catches it at the 20 and goes down at the 25. 75 yards from the end zone. 2:03 on the scoreboard.
Just He fielded it and then just went down. He just fell down at the 25-yard line. Here we go. High-powered offense has an opportunity to make some magic, or this is the season. 2 minutes left.
Season on the line. The Region 2C championship game. Everything we had hoped for in the ball game. Trips to the left for Clark. Drops back. Looks left. Screen pass set up for Luke Woodard. Blockers in a convoy. Takes it to the near sideline. Jukes it back. And he's caught up. Only a gain of 3. Ball came out. And they're going to say he was down. Glenvar took it all the way to the house for a touchdown, but they're going to say he was down by contact.
Yeah.
2nd down and 7.
Luke Woodard.
Clock's ticking, by the way.
Got to keep clock management in mind right there. Catches it on the screen. You got to get upfield, buddy.
2nd down and 7, 1:44 and rolling in the 4th quarter. Radford trailing by 1. In motion, Grubb out to the right. Clark looks over the middle. Patiently waits, flat-footed, rolls out to his right, looking deep over the middle. Colton Gardner-Rollins, what a snag at the 50! The freshman with an excellent play.
Great play. Great play by number 6, Colton Gardner-Rollins. Gets hit as he catches the ball. Game on the line. Gets us out to midfield.
1:30 and rolling. Trips to the left for Clark. Takes a snap. Quick snap. Looks left. Looks over the middle. Patiently waiting. Guns it into the dirt. Max Knipe was there, but it was just too low. Clock stops at 1:20 to go in the 4th quarter.
Get a quick breather here. Reset. Landon got a little happy feet right there. Threw it at the feet of Max Knipe coming across the field.
Glenvar not bringing any pressure. Every defensive lineman playing QB spy right now with 1:20 to go. Radford still 2 timeouts. 24-23. Trips to left for Clark, who receives the football. Pressured off the edge. In trouble. Over the middle. Caught by Max Knipe. Makes a man miss at the 45. Gives a stiff arm. He didn't get out of bounds. No, they say he did. What an effort by Max Knipe to get a hand down. And there's a
injury anyway.
Highlander cramping up.
And another one limping. Number 24 limping. They're going to keep the cramper on the field.
By the way, 3rd down and 5. Ball is now at the 3rd down and 4. Ball is now at the 43 at the near hash. Radford has to get to the 39.
Same formation we scored on earlier.
1:12 to go. Clock is stopped. Clark in the gun. Bunch formation. Motions Gardner-Rollins to the left. Quarterback keeper all the way. Clark cuts it up middle of the field. He slips and he's down. A loss of 1. And it all rests on this upcoming play.
They're ready for it.
Under 1 minute to go. Clock is ticking. Radford's got to go.
I think Landon could have bounced it out right there. Got a little bit more room right there, but nonetheless.
For the season, Clark in the gun. Motions Gardner-Rollins to the left. Timeout. Glenvar. They sneak one in with 48 seconds to play. Radford let 15 seconds tick away after that 3rd down play.
Well, going back to that last play, I think Landon had a couple of blockers in front of him going to the outside. I think he probably could have went outside, but decided to try to cut it back the opposite way and catch Glenvar sleeping right there, and unfortunately slipped. 4th and 4, 2 timeouts left for the Bobcats, 48 seconds. Man, oh man.
4th down and 5. Middle of the hashes. This is for the season, folks. 48 seconds to go in this game. Radford trails by 1. Clark in the gun. J.D. Grubb on the right hip. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Clark hikes the hide comfortably, drops back, looks over the middle, pressured up the middle, takes off running. Did he get it? Just enough.
He got it.
Plenty of running room for the Brad's Barbershop. 1st down, a gain of 10. Radford's got to go. 41 seconds. The clock is stopped till that ball is placed. Radford already up on the line.
Big time play by Landon.
Clark hikes the hide, looks left, looking, guns it over the middle. Max Knipe at the 30, cuts up middle of the field at the 25, playing it at the 21. Another Brad's Barbershop 1st down, and deeper to Glenvar territory. 30 seconds to go. Clock stops till it's placed. Now it rolls. Clark under gun, takes the snap, looks again over the middle, patiently waits, rolling to his right, looking over the middle, looking to the end zone, takes off running, and he tiptoes out of bounds. It's going to be out to the 22. 17 seconds to play.
Every person in the stadium on their feet right now. 17 seconds. Bobcats have 2 timeouts left in the ball on the 22-yard line. Webster was over here kicking into the kicking net. Gotta think.
He's got the leg. The triple option end around formation. Right now, bunch formation. Clark in the gun. Fakes the handoff. Looks over the middle. Looking in the end zone. Now pressured. Lobbing. Open man. Luke Woodard. Touchdown! With 10 seconds to go. Radford strikes with only 10 seconds.
What a play. That formation, Nick, we will be calling the formation for a long time. Patience by Landon Clark. Luke Woodard bounced to the outside. Perfect throw. Great catch by Luke Woodard. And now all the Bobcat fans are on their feet, and all the Glenvar fans who were hugging each other 2 minutes ago are just sitting sulking in the bleachers with 10 seconds remaining on the clock.
29-24. Luke Woodard had a streak route right up the middle, cut it to the left. His defender slipped. He was wide open in the end zone. Clark for the 2-point conversion. Drops back, rolls to the right, flips it over the middle. Ball batted in the air. Incomplete. 29-24 now. So things are still interesting. Glenvar with only 1 timeout. Radford has taken the lead with only 10 seconds to play. Glenvar 2 years ago and 3 years ago beat Radford on the final play of the game. Radford doing their best imitation to send it right back to Glenvar.
It's going to be a long 10 seconds here.
29-24. All Glenvar needs is a touchdown. That is all they need. Radford fans hugging. There is nobody sitting on the Bobcat side of the field.
What a game. These athletes have battled, and they've battled.
It was 15-10 entering the fourth quarter. It is now 29-24, Mr. Worles.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. The Bobcats need to make a tackle and a defensive play.
Elijah Goff tees the ball up at the 44. 29-24 with what seems like an eternity still on the scoreboard.
10 seconds. Make the tackle, guys. Make the tackle.
10 seconds. Goff trots up, kicks it, line drive, lands at the 30, slips out to the 15. It's going to be scooped up there at the 15. Taking it to the left is Anderson. He's got running room, upended at the 24 with 3 seconds to go.
Everyone was holding their breath as he got to the outside edge right there, but a big-time tackle, I believe, by number 14, Colt Martin, who lifted him in the air. The fans are going crazy right here. 3 seconds remaining.
Ball officially at the 24-yard line. 3 seconds. Timeout. Let's let this moment breathe a little. One final play. One final play.
Ooh.
You relaxed, Mr. Worles?
I'm not relaxed.
You've got your feet kicked up in here.
My watch is telling me to calm down.
I mean, what a fourth quarter. Truly, what a fourth quarter.
Shoot.
You can't script it better. To start the fourth quarter, the first minute of the fourth, Glenvar scored. Radford responded 17 seconds later. Then Glenvar scored with 2:30 to go. And then Radford takes the lead for 10 final seconds. That last kickoff took 7 seconds off the scoreboard. Only 3 remain, and the ball is officially at the 23-yard line at the far hash. Glenvar is going right to left. 4 men for Radford stand at the 45-yard line. Radford has 5 guys on the front. A late addition here by Glenvar is added on, and Radford's going to call one final timeout.
3 seconds remaining in one heck of a Regency championship game. No one scored in the third quarter.
No.
Scoreless. 15-10 at halftime, scoreless in the third, and here we are sitting at 29-24. Lots of two-point conversions, a lot of clutch plays made by both teams. This is a Radford-Glenvar football game once again.
The 36-3 beatdown that Radford gave Glenvar on September 29th was an oddity. 4 of the last 6 games between these two teams have come down to one-score game. The other one was a 17-7 victory, so not much difference. One final play. 5 Bobcats now stand back at the 45. A 4-man front for Radford. Dyatt in the gun. 2 receivers on either side. Shotgun snap for the game. Over the middle. It is caught. Radford's there. Radford wins to the state semifinals. They go. 29-24 is your final score.
What a game.
Heartbreak and tears for Radford on this field 2 years ago in the regular season when they lost to Glenvar on the final play. Roles are reversed as multiple Glenvar players fall to their knees as the handshake line comes through. What a game and what a win. 29-24. Radford has a date next Saturday.
I know people always say this in a championship game, a win or lose situation, but man, I mean, kudos to Glenvar. They came in with the game plan. It's always scary playing a team for the second time in a season. They came with the game plan, and they took the lead with 2 minutes left, and what we thought, they thought for sure was going to be the capper there. They thought they were going to escape with another fourth quarter victory over the Bobcats, but Landon Clark and the Bobcat offense marched on down and ended up with a pretty pass all the way to Luke Woodard, who made the clutch catch in the end zone, and that would be the story of it all. Radford Bobcats crowned Regency champions once again. What an honor it is, Nick, to be up here with you, to be able to call that kind of game.
For the first time since 2018, Radford will be given a Region 2C trophy that they are going to be awarded at midfield at the moment. Both teams kind of breaking away. What just an incredible series it has been since Landon Clark transferred over to Radford to go against his former team in Glenvar, and I can't think of a better way to script up his final game against his former team than with a 29-24 last-second touchdown win.
After Glenvar scored that touchdown, Nick, I watched Landon come over and sit on the bench, and I was kind of thinking to myself, all right, man. All right, superstar. This is the moments where superstars shine, and people remember you, and that's exactly what he did. And he marched our team downfield, and you know what? It was a wide-open pass, but you know what? You got to sit there and make that pass with the game on the line, and then you got a guy, Luke Woodard, who has to make that catch, and they do. Just what a season. You're going to have to fight. The Bobcats, I told you, Nick, no matter the score, we're going to play 4 quarters. They played 4 quarters tonight.
All 4 quarters. Every last second was needed today for Radford to pull off the victory. Just an incredible game, an incredible finish, but the job isn't done. Radford didn't enter the season with aspirations to just win the Region 2C championship. Yes, that was a stop on the way to the ultimate destiny, but the Bobcats, boy, they'll enjoy this one as Clark runs over to the sideline to celebrate with the fans and the team. I've seen some great moments here at Bobcat Stadium, and I know you have as well. You've played in some great moments, but it's got to rank up there, Mr. Worles.
The way this game played, this will go down as a classic that a lot of people will be talking about. And finally the Bobcats are on the winning side of it, because there's been a lot of classics that go down between these two teams. But this time, you know what? A lot of things broke this season for the Bobcats in the region playoffs. We beat Appomattox last week. You know, we sent them home rather than them sending us home. And this time, Glenvar was not the one to take the last seconds of a win. We did. And we did it when it matters, because this time a trophy was involved. And guess who won it? The black and gold on Black Friday.
The black and gold on Black Friday. This one will be remembered for a long, 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 long time. 2 more games, 2 more wins is all Radford needs to reach that mountaintop. This is just a step along the way. This one's a little more enjoyable than the last one and the week before, but they'll enjoy it tonight and get right back to work. For work, we still got a post-game report. So we'll step aside for 2 minutes. We'll collect our thoughts, collect our stats, collect our breath, and our sense.
I need a second dinner now. I'm hungry.
Oh, my goodness. We'll step aside 2 minutes. On the other side, the Harvey's GM post-game report. Radford Region 2C champions with a 29-24 victory over the Glenvar Highlanders on WRAD. For one final time, for Mr. Worles, for Miss Sparks back in the booth, I'm Nick Brown. Final score for the Region 2C championship game, 29-24. Bobcats victorious. And as always, sleep very well. Have a great night. Go Bobcats, and God bless.